Serious question. Are you men okay? I mean, I don't really know like what's going on with you all or if like the whole Andrew Tate thing is like super fucked up your mind, but you guys seem like really angry right now. So yesterday I made just a random very short video because I had seen some comments on other people's posts that were just crazy. And like the one I captured was a now walk downtown in your city alone at night without a man, lol. And I'm like, okay, but the only reason that women need a man is because of men. And within an hour, there were like 40 angry fucking comments from men who had all kinds of like just misogynistic bullshit comments that they think are hurting. But here's the thing, I've been through some like really terrible shit, and internet comments don't hurt me anymore. But let's just run through them because some of them were quite funny, and there's a couple that have been deleted. Like there was one from someone called Leslie, and I don't know if it was a woman who had just a really awful childhood and who was like obviously suffered some severe trauma, but she said I needed a couple of lefts to go with my rights. And Leslie, I don't know like what you've been through, but I hope that one day if you disagree with a man that they don't decide to punch you in the face. And if it's a man called Leslie, well then I totally get it because you're trying to be extra masculine to make up for your feminine name, so whatever. But here's some of the other ones. Basically a lot of them were about my looks, because there's things like face like that you don't have to worry, and then one was because we killed all the wolves and bears. Like, I don't know what the fuck that means. And then someone rants on about fascinating statistics about the divorce rate between lesbian couples. Like, I don't get what lesbians have to do with, like, men on the streets being violent. But okay. And yes, occasionally, like, women punch each other. But that's still not a man punching a woman. So, let's move on from that one. Someone says she's single for life, lol. You can clearly see my fucking wedding ring in the picture, and I've been married for 21 years. And someone replied that, like, I was married, so they should try again, and they were like, oh, it's probably just some lame guy that she's running over. Okay, I'm guessing that guy's single. And then there was all these comments about being a crazy cat lady. And I don't know why men think that cats are an insult. And it's also funny because I don't own a cat. I own a dog. He's sitting right behind me. But the biggest cat person I know, the person who I go out with, who will show me photos of their cat, was actually a special forces guy who had been in basically every conflict during the 80s and 90s. Like, he went to Somalia during the Black Hawk Down incident. Not he was in there. He was on the extraction team. And he worked for, like, presidential detail. Like, he is the manliest man I know, and yet he is a cat person. So I don't know why people think that the whole cat lady is an insult, unless they're trying to hark back to witches. But people don't realize that, like, people thought women were witches because they weren't dying of the plague. And it turns out it's because the cats were eating the mice, because the plague comes from the mice. And nobody killed witches. It was men murdering women that they couldn't control. So I don't give a fuck about your cat stuff. I think it's funny. There's one, bro is gonna make bone marrow babies next. I don't even know what that means. And then this one. It is right. It doesn't need a man to protect. All it has to do is say, kiss me, baby, and a dude will be gone before it can open its eyes. And you know what? This one's actually true. Because when I was in my teens, and guys who, like, would try to be overly sexual and who got off on trying to make you uncomfortable, if you were overly sexual around them, or, like, you amped up and you gave bigger dick energy than they have, and, like, you were just super out there with your sexuality, they scampered off into a corner because their only joy in life is trying to make you uncomfortable. So if you are out there and you're like, yeah, baby, bring it on. It's like, I worked in a kitchen once and this guy used to like try and show porn and be like, hey, could you take it like this one? And you'd look him up and down and be like, yeah, but your dick isn't that big, so I don't know why you're worried about it. shut that motherfucker down, never bothered me again. And then, of course, there's all these ones like, face like that, you have no worries. I'm sorry, I have allergies, and like, I'm not putting on makeup to make like a 60-second YouTube video because I don't give a fuck. I am 46 years old. I don't feel the need to wear makeup all the time. And it's like, all these men are so used to like 20-year-old influences in like full drag queen makeup that they don't know what an actual woman looks like. Probably because they don't live with one. They don't wake up with one in bed next to them in the morning. So they've just like never seen a woman without makeup. So whatever. And then there's one about don't be racist. Like, I don't, like, what? I was talking about men. How is talking about men being racist? Anyway, you guys are gonna have to try way harder because I've seen some terrible shit. And I still want to know exactly, like, there's all these ones saying that we still need men. We still need, like, what do we need men for? Like, we want men. Like, I have a husband. I love him very much. I want him. But we don't need men. Men need women. Because it's always the men making these comments are the men who, like, still live at home with their mommy, who makes them lunch and does their laundry. And really, if you think about it in, like, the long-term biological thing, we could just have a bunch of guys jizz in a cup and we could, like, have babies that way. But men can't have incubators that they can put their sperm into and create a baby. So really, no, I don't think that men, like, are necessary. I don't think that we need them. I think we want them. And if you're the kind of man that needs to be needed instead of needs to be wanted, then that's on you. Because you should be the kind of man that women want. You shouldn't only be able to get a woman because you think that she needs a woman. Anyway, y'all have fun. Try harder. Or you know what? Just be better people.